All right, well, good Monday morning, Jet fan. It's 10:25 on 10/28/2019, and tonight, Week 8 of the NFL comes to a conclusion when the Miami Dolphins 0-6 travel to the 2-4 Pittsburgh Steelers. Um, Before we get into yesterday's Jet game and review and discuss and disgust, um, feeling disgusted, um, just go through the league, look at some scores, look at some games. The Philadelphia Eagles bounced back. They beat the Buffalo Bills 31-13. I think the Bills come back down to earth. They were 5-1. Yes, I'm not going to take anything away from them. They did beat the Jets. They beat Miami, I believe. They did lose. Their only loss was to the Patriots prior to yesterday. But Philadelphia bounced back from a brutal loss to the Cowboys last week, and they won yesterday. Cincinnati remains winless. They fall to the Rams 24-10, and the Rams did what they had to do. They played a bad team, and they beat them. The Saints got Drew Brees back, and they beat Arizona 31-9 over in New Orleans. The Indianapolis Colts beat Denver 15-13. Adam Vinatieri, Jet fans know that name. Patriot fans know that name. Hit a game winner towards the end, I believe, as the game ended. I'm not sure if it was a final second kick, but beat the Denver Broncos 15-13 today or yesterday after the game. Joe Flacco got a little chippy in his presser, questioning play calling and decisions late in the game. Last night, the Packers beat the Patrick Mahomes-less Kansas City Chiefs. I believe the final score was 31-24 in Kansas City. And Baker Mayfield continues to be a turnover machine as the Patriots beat the Browns yesterday in Foxborough. Trying to get the score here. It was 27-13. Basically down 10-0 very early in the game. Running back Chubb had a huge break through the line. Was headed towards at least inside the red zone to be tackled. It was not a touchdown. And the ball got batted away out of his hands. He fumbled, turned it over, and Cleveland never really bounced back. So that was Baker Mayfield. He had a few also turnovers yesterday. Couldn't get anything going. It was a sloppy game over in Foxborough. And Bill Belichick got his 300th win yesterday. Ironically, after the game, Robert Kraft, the owner of the Patriots, came out and said he thought it was fitting that Belichick got his 299th against the Jets and his 300th against Cleveland. The Jets, I still don't understand this need to put Belichick with the Jets. Belichick was never with the Jets. He, turned down the job, or he resigned from the job. 2 days after being on it, 1 day after being on it. So he never really was part of the Jets. He was part of the Jets under Bill Parcells. Let's be honest. So this whole soap opera really needs to come to an end. And Robert Kraft, if you want to just keep bringing that up, is that an insecurity with the Jets? I don't know. Your team is 8-0. Belichick is Belichick, and it is what it is. I also wanted to get into yesterday. Somebody put on Twitter how Belichick was one of the greatest, if not the greatest, coach of them all. And somebody wrote, Vince Lombardi, and let me just bring something out, okay? And this sounds like a hater, but this is I'm a Yankee fan, and Mark McGwire had that huge season where he broke Roger Maris's record. What was the other one? What's his name? Barry Bonds broke McGwire's record. Roger Clemens, had Cy Young wins and World Series wins. And they won't make it to the Hall of Fame because they were either found guilty of or accused of cheating. Bill Belichick and his team has been found guilty numerous times of cheating, whether it's Deflategate, Spygate, the helicopter hovering over the Rams during the 2001 Super Bowl, the PEDs with Edelman, the Brady breaking his phone, Hernandez, the tight end, being a gangbanger, but yet they're going to put him in the league and put him in the Hall of Fame as one of the greatest coaches ever. it's remarkable. George Steinbrenner, was banned from baseball twice for wrongdoings outside of the team, and that was reinstated later on after serving his ban. This guy, they just keep polishing his crown. I guess they're right. If you're not cheating, you're not trying. Well, anyway, maybe that's sour grapes. But let's go on to the team that we're here to speak about week in and week out, and that is our New York Jets, who went down to Jacksonville after the whole entire nightmare of the week. I mean, you want to talk nightmare, you start off with the Monday night loss to New England, 33-0. The soundbite, I'm seeing ghosts. The player who wants to go for surgery, and the Jets keep finding him every time he doesn't show up for practice. The injuries, just everything going on. The turnovers by Sam, and finally, then you find out during the week Sam's toe was crushed during the game, and they had to remove his nail, and this whole thing. And you feel like, all right, listen, they're going down to Jacksonville. Jacksonville is 3-4. They're not world beaters, but Minshew has played fairly well as a 6th-round backup. But this is a bounce-back game. You go down to Jacksonville, the defense can maybe get to him. Le'Veon Bell can probably get the things going, and before you can even sit down and crack open your beer or your wine cooler or your soda or your seltzer or start your Sunday sauce, you're down 6-0 on like 3 plays. And it was remarkable to me how quickly this team went downfield on us. Leonard Fournette had a huge run. Jamal Adams caught up to him, and then the next play, the three defensive backs almost like banged into each other, and there was 6-0. They missed the extra point, and now, as a fan, you want to see the team bounce back. And to their credit, and to the offense's credit, they did. The Jets came out, they went over 90 yards, they scored, they converted on a 4th down. I'm trying to think, I think it was Griffin was the tight end who caught the touchdown. The Jets get the extra point, and the Jets have a lead now for the first time since the Dallas game. It's the first time they scored in 30-plus games on their first drive. The first time they scored a touchdown in 30-plus games. So we're 8 games into this season, 16 last year, that's 24. So you have to go back to week 9 or week 10 of under, 2 years ago for them to be having their first score, their first touchdown drive on the opening drive, on their opening possession. The Jets kick it off, and the game, again, Jacksonville answers right back. Jamal Adams has basically a sack in his hands, and Minshew gets out of it, throws the ball 70 yards downfield. Of course, nobody near the wide receiver, and he walks in. And it just got away from them from there. There were dropped interceptions by the defense. There were 2 muffed punts by the special teams of Jacksonville that the Jets couldn't drop on. There was a drive where Jacksonville was going in for a field goal that they converted 4 or 5 third downs in a row on this drive. And then finally at the end, it was 3rd and goal, and Fournette was stuffed on a run, and I think it was Poole who came up clapping his hands in his face. They heard it on TV, and they throw a flag for taunting. Like, I don't understand. I mean, they did pick up the flag for the taunting, but play your game. You're clapping because you stopped them on 3rd down. You're still down by 2 scores at this point. This is an undisciplined team right now. Sam threw 3 interceptions. 2 of them were on him. I think one of them, he got out of a sack, he rolled out. At that point, you throw the ball downfield out of bounds. He tried to squeeze into Robbie Anderson, and it was picked. It's all on Sam, but Robbie, you got to be defensive back on that play. You got to knock the ball down. Get called for offensive pass interference. Okay? Another one, after the Jacksonville comes downfield, the Jets try what they did against Dallas from like they're inside the 10, a little flick play down the field to Robbie. Robbie is held up on pass interference, so he can't catch the pass. It would have been a touchdown if he catches it. So they get pass interference. Next play, after defensive pass interference, what do they get? Offensive pass interference. And they go backwards. And then 2 plays later, they try to run the same thing. Only this time, they don't throw it to their speedy wide receiver. They throw it to, and I don't even know his name, number 17. My kids know his name. And it's underthrown by Sam, and it's picked off. There was another play on a pickoff where the DB jumped a route. There are many times where linebackers are lined up on wide receivers. Linebackers are lined up trying to carry Fournette. It does not help. It does not work. On 2 consecutive plays, Jamal Adams was called for penalty, unnecessary roughness. The first play was borderline. Minshew, who was running all over them all day, ran out of the pocket, got the first down. He stuck the ball out as he got to the sidelines, and Adams gave him a push as he approached the sidelines. He was not on the white. They threw 15 yards on top of that. Next play, Adams hit him as he released the ball. Not helmet to helmet, not leading with the helmet, not below the knees, not anything. They got him for another personal foul, roughing the passer. Ridiculous. These referees are ridiculous on both sides of the ball. You know, it's maybe time that you get your full-time referees in there that are training 12 months a year, and it's, you know, they do it. You know, we have this new rule in place because a referee missed a blatant pass interference call in a championship game. Blatant pass interference call. And what do? They say you can challenge it. How many of those challenges on pass interference have been overruled this year? Not many. I think it's like a 3% overturn ratio, if that high. Ridiculous. Ridiculous. Quentin Williams, you know, I know you missed a few games. We're halfway through the season now. The only way you show up on the score chart is because you're starting. We need to see you. We need you to make some plays. Leonard Williams got in there, got a sack, or I think he forced a fumble or got a sack, and it gets negated because Burgess gets called for defensive holding. Okay? Le'Veon Bell had 12 carries in the whole game. I think he had 9 in the first half. 12 carries. Now, I'm not saying feed him the ball, because God knows this offensive line is ridiculously depleted, poorly managed, and just beat up. And you give the running back who didn't play for a year, so he has fresh friggin' legs. He didn't play for a year, so, you know, let's give him 9 carries. Let's get away from the running game. You know, let's put it all on our young quarterback who just came off the most horrendous game of his life. Let's put it all on his back. 9 carries, or 12 carries. How about a little bit of a screen pass? How about maybe out of the backfield goes out for a pass? They did that once. It was 3rd and 20. 3rd and 20, and he picked up 10 or 12 yards on that. Are you kidding me, Adam Gase? Are you kidding me? In the end, after they played Ghostbusters, after signs of I'm seeing ghosts, after that mascot came dressed up as a ghost, you know, and yes, you know what? You want to do a little bantering. You want to do some throw some shade at somebody. That's fine. You could say it was Halloween weekend. You know, this is a professional sport. You can't clap at somebody's face because it's taunting, but your mascot can come out dressed like a friggin' ghost. You know, this league is really getting out of hand. This league is getting out of hand. And you know what's getting out of hand also? That this team does not have a coach who can lead them. Okay? I immediately, after the game, run out to do something, and I put on the radio to listen to the post game. I want to hear, you know, what the coach has to say. I want to hear what players have to say. So the coach comes out and he says, Leonard Williams got his wind knocked out on him, checking for a concussion. He's fine. Found out Khalil hurt his knee. He doesn't know if he's coming back. I forgot who else. Tremaine Johnson, who I didn't even realize he was playing, got injured. He wasn't coming back. They're all day-to-day to get reevaluated. So Leonard Williams, who had a pressure, who was in the game, gets dinged up, could be injured, is supposed to be trade bait. So you keep this guy in the game? Robbie Williams, all right. They're talking about trading Robbie Williams. What do you do to your young quarterback who lost Quincy Enunwa, okay, who doesn't have a deep threat? I mean, Demaryius Thomas made an incredible catch when he bobbled it and he caught it between his knees and go, beautiful. But he doesn't have chemistry with Sam. Sam had real Robbie Williams last year. Sam had Robbie Williams this year. I mean, come on. Say, this is ridiculous. So you put on the pressure, and you hear how, first of all, Gates doesn't blame Sam, and he doesn't blame himself. He says people who are supposed to be doing things aren't doing things. Offensive line, this and that. First of all, you got to call out your quarterback for the 3 picks. I'm sorry. You can't call out the other side of the ball or your offensive line or whatever without calling out your quarterback with 3 picks, and that's 7 in 2 games. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm getting a little dry mouth here. Okay, so you go through all that. Then Jamal Adams comes out and says he's not used to losing, and it's got to be fixed, and he didn't come from losing, and he's not going to hide from anybody. That's fine, Jamal. You want to be a leader, need to lead. Say what you want. That's fine. I'll take that as a press conference or a post-game interview. That's fine. Le'Veon Bell, who everybody thought was going to be this, and I hate to use the word cancer, because cancer is a disease, is a killer. So I'm not going to use the word cancer in the locker room, but a bad vibe, a bad link in the locker room, has made himself available to the media from the moment he came to the Jets. Yesterday he stepped out a little early without the media being in there. You can see he's getting frustrated. I think there was a portion of the second drive. After the Jets went downfield and scored on their first drive and have a short field on their second drive, he's on the sidelines. Is he digged up? I don't get it. I don't get the strategy that this team is putting out there. So now you go back and they're taking calls in. And all right, and listen, I am a huge Jet fan. I will give them every excuse, but you got to be realistic, okay? I don't get paid to follow the Jets. I pay to go to the games. I pay for the merchandise. I pay for the memorabilia. I pay for whatever I want to do to see this team, okay? I pay for the cable to watch the team. The streaming, whatever you want to do, the internet, whatever you want to do, okay? It's my choice. It is a way of life with me. It is a way of life with my family, with my girls, okay? My girls, yesterday, it's Sunday, so they come down, they're in the pajamas, 12:30, they're in their jet gear. It's not I'm going to just lay around, no, it's in jet gear, it's Sunday, watch the game, they're in their jet gear. I don't have to tell them, they do it. That's the way it is with us, but that's us. Okay, so they have somebody call in, a frequent caller, okay, who goes to all the games. They know him by first name. I think there's he calls in once a day at least, we got breaking news coming out. Kenyon Drake goes to the Cardinals from the Dolphins. I don't know how much of breaking news that is for anybody here, but Kenyon Drake goes to the Cardinals for a 2020 conditional draft pick. So the caller calls in and he's talking about how he's disgusted and how it was a very low game, watching and blah, blah, blah. And he's looking forward towards the draft and hopes Joe Douglas can right the ship. The person who is at the radio station taking the calls starts saying about, at this point you're out of the playoffs, you're 1-6. Thank you, Captain Obvious. We're 1-6, you're out of the playoffs. No, we have 9 games left. I think we'll go 10-6. And as a fan, every week you go looking at the game like they're going to win. But 10-6 is basically unrealistic. But okay, let's keep going. You have to look till next year. So my question, if I would have had a chance to call in, and I don't think I called in because I think, number one, I would have been so annoyed waiting on hold that by the time I got through, I wouldn't have made any sense. I don't know if I'm making sense today. So these games don't mean anything. Let's look towards next year. Does everybody who has a parking pass for the next 4 home games get a refund? Do they get some sort of rebate on tickets? These games don't count. Do they get back their TV revenue? Come on. You cannot say when you are the anchor for this team, when you are representing this team on the radio or whatever you're doing, this season is over, let's look to next year. Are you kidding me? How about let's look and see how this team prepares for the Dolphins, a team that should be far less superior than us. Should be far more, they haven't won a game all season. You know what, Sunday? It is a coin toss to see who wins this friggin' game. So for me as a fan to hear that, listen, I read Twitter, I read all these things, fire Gase, Sam sucks, Quentin Williams sucks, Jamal Adams this, Le'Veon Bell this. They're realistic and unrealistic things that they speak about, that they tweet about. I get it. But when you are a paid professional, whether you're on the field, on the sidelines, or reporting, report accuracy. And I'm not saying it's not accurate that these next 9 games are going to mean anything. They first of all will mean a lot towards how this team ends, how this coach is perceived, how the GM does at the trade deadline, how the quarterback develops. If Le'Veon Bell was worth all the money, if Jamal Adams is worth all the hype, is Quentin Williams worth the 3rd pick in the draft? That's what these 9 games are. And maybe win a few of these friggin' games. How about that? Now I sound like Joe Beningo. How about that? Okay? And usually Beningo comes on the radio and he's a fan, just sputters out everything. He made a lot of sense today. The one thing I don't agree with him is he says this is the lowest he's been as a Jets fan. I'm sorry, 3-13 and 1-15 were the lowest I ever been. The only time, and I can remember, we lost to the Giants that year on the 1-15 season, I believe. I believe we lost to the Giants in the 1-15 season. And, or was that the 3-13 season? No, the 1-15 season. And it was like week 2 or 3. And all I said was, I can't wait for the season to be over so they could fire this head coach in Rich Kotite. And that's what I'm looking for now. This coach cannot go any further with this team. He is not developing Sam Darnold. Now you could say Sam doesn't have any chance in the pocket because of the line. So where are they fixing this line? If you're the quarterback whisperer, you say, my quarterback needs this and this. Let's fix it. Let's get him weapons. Because if he's running for his life, he's not going to be successful. Okay? You can put probably 30 out of the 32 quarterbacks in this league behind that jet line, and they're not going to be successful. Probably 2, maybe 3. Tom Brady, Patrick Mahomes, Aaron Rodgers. Okay? You can't tell me anybody else. Don't tell me any of the young kids. Don't tell me Ryan Fitzpatrick, who's just been a journeyman his whole life. Drew Brees. Drew Brees with the end of the line gets beat up. Philip Rivers gets beat up. Okay? Jared Goff, you saw when he never really have a running game, he got beat up. So it's not just Sam, it's the whole line. And it's up to this coach and this GM to fix it. Now the trade deadline is tomorrow. So right away yesterday, after the game, they're like, oh, it's going to be Jamal Adams, it's going to be Le'Veon Bell. You cannot blow this entire thing up and go down to rock bottom. You cannot start at below ground level. You need some sort of foundation. Your foundation cannot just be your quarterback. Okay, your quarterback, to have a foundation, needs something to throw or hand the ball off to. Okay? He needs something to stand up in front of him so he can throw and hand the ball off to. Your defense needs somebody who can play with heart and get to the quarterback or make tackles or make plays. Okay? I have said this all along. I think Leonard Williams is a goner. I think he goes to the Texans. I didn't mention this earlier, but the Texans won yesterday. Deshaun Watson is just amazing player. And he doesn't even win with this line that we have. But Deshaun Watson, amazing player. But J.J. Watt tore his pectoral muscle. He's done for the season. I think the Texans had a chance to do really well. They still have a chance to do really well. I can see Leonard Williams going there. Now, Leonard Williams is by far no Jamal Adams. No J.J. Watt. But I can see them offering a third for Leonard and the Jets picking up on it. If I'm the Jets, you don't get rid of Le'Veon Bell. You do not get rid of Jamal Adams. They said there was some interest in Marcus May. Maybe get rid of Marcus May. Maybe Tremaine Johnson, who's done nothing since he got here. And I've said it before, if you're doing a job at a company, okay, and you're hired on January 1, you don't get a full year. Usually companies give you a 90-day probationary period to see if you're going to be hired full-time, before your benefits kick in whatsoever. or what have you. Same thing should go with a coach. And I'm not saying probationary period. If you're not producing, you're gone. Okay? The only reason why this man will get a chance is, let's look at the track record, number one. In all the years that I've been following this team, the Jets have gotten rid of a coach after 1 year, Pete Carroll. And look what I got rid of him, look where he is now. 2 Super Bowl appearances as a head coach. How many Super Bowl appearances with the 49ers? How many national championships together? Okay? Rich Kotite went almost 2 full seasons. Al Groh resigned after a full season. Okay? Herm went 5 seasons. Rex went 6 seasons. Bowles went 5 seasons. Mangini went 3 seasons. Okay? And Mangini went, after making the playoffs his first year, declined and went back up, and with Brett Favre, couldn't get it in. He needed 1 win to get into the playoffs and couldn't do it. That's why Mangini was gone. Okay? So, it's time to change his coach. That you look at his track record in Miami, they took him to the playoffs once. He had 2 brutal seasons. After that, or maybe in between that, his last 3 games in Miami, they were blown out. He's been blown out in every loss this year. Except for the Buffalo game. Okay? He's lost by more than a full score. Buffalo was 17-16. The Browns was by 2 touchdowns. The Eagles was by 2 touchdowns. Or more, I believe. Patriots were 2 touchdowns. And then yesterday, I think they lost by 2 touchdowns. Ridiculous. He is not a quarterback whisperer. He is not a good head coach. Okay? A coach has to come in here and be established. Okay? Has to be established as a head coach. He needs to have some success as a head coach. Look at Atlanta with Dan Quinn. Okay? He took him to the Super Bowl, has always had the Falcons in the playoffs, took him to the Super Bowl. Yes, he blew a 28-3 lead to the Patriots and lost. But since that game has been downhill ever since. He's gone this year. He's gone. And he put some credibility into that Atlanta Falcon team. Okay? You have to be held accountable. Adam Gase and his coaching staff are not being held accountable. They are not giving this team the best that they can give them. I am tired of losing. Yes, I sound like Jamal Adams. I lose when they lose. Okay? I want to know if they feel like I feel right now. And this is almost 24 hours after the game. Okay? This was supposed to be a statement game for the offense. The statement is they're doing the same as they did last week. That's a statement. Okay? If I were to produce, or you were to produce at your job, the way our coach and some of the players are producing, we wouldn't have jobs. End of story. So, that is it. That is my rant for today. I could have went on a little further. I could have went on a little more. I'm done thinking about this. It's on to Miami. And God help us if we lose to the Dolphins. Let alone all the Dolphin fans I have that harass me right now. Even when the team was doing well, I got harassed by Dolphins. If we lose to this team who hasn't won, Adam Gase should just stay in Miami. Should just stay there. Okay? You want to make a statement about this team, make a statement now. Okay? You don't trade away your good players. You don't trade away your future to hopefully pick your future. Okay? If you keep doing that, it's just going to be a revolving door. You have to have your future become your present. And right now, Jamal Adams, Le'Veon Bell, Quentin Williams, they should all be part of the future and the present of this team. Leonard Williams had his three years, took a shot, and he's done. And it's time for him to move on. I'm just sick and tired of it. I'm sick and tired of losing 9 years without a playoff appearance. Okay, it goes back to that loss to Pittsburgh. It goes back to that game against New England when we beat them. It has been downhill ever since we walked off the field in New England. Okay. I don't care if it looks bad if we fire the coach mid-season. Okay. At the very least, fire him mid-season. At the most, fire him at the end of the season. Because he has shown nothing. And I don't want to hear injuries. If injuries are a problem, talk to your training staff, your conditioning staff. Because there's an issue then. That's my rant. Okay? Well, check us out on Facebook, nyjetstories.com. On Twitter, at nyjetstories.com is our Twitter handle. Of course, here, my YouTube channel is Alex Parziali. Might change that name soon, trying to, figure out how to do all that. And of course, the website is www.nyjetstories.com. That's www.nyjetstories.com, www.nyjetstories.com. You almost hope the Dolphins win tonight, so the Jets are playing a winless team next week. That's all, guys. I'll try to get to you on Wednesday and do some midweek Jet bonus coverage. Win or lose, you wear your colors. I was out the store, out my colors. It is what it is. Talk to you later.